You're watching Good Morning Suncoast at 6.
A former Thai Navy SEAL has died inside the cave where 12 boys and their soccer coach are still trapped. We're going to have the latest details on what exactly happened. And the Postal Service has made a big mistake on one of their forever stamps. We'll tell you what went wrong. And one theme park is doing everything they can to make kids with special needs feel welcome. We're going to tell you about the world's first autism theme park. We have those stories, plus your weekend forecast. Good Morning Suncoast starts right now. Good morning to you. It is 6 a.m. on this Friday morning. TGIF. I'm Stephanie Webb. Ray Collins is on vacation today, and our John Scalzi has been keeping an eye on the weather outside and barrel that is going on out in the Atlantic. John, what you got for us this morning?
I say, woohoo, TGIF. Yeah. Yeah, we have some showers just off coast. In fact, a special marine warning issued for that cluster of showers out there. There have been some lightning pops. You might be able to see them from shore, depending on where you live. Those lightning pops indicate a cluster of storms that really won't affect us here on land too much, but are important to, of course, boaters. Locally, though, on land, we do have a chance of seeing some showers build across the region. We have a chance of that through about noontime or so. And then, thereafter, a westerly wind flow will carry most of the activity into inland areas today. Like yesterday, showers and thunderstorms will produce a lot of cloud cover for a brief period of time during the afternoon, but mostly in inland locations. We have a little bit of residual cloud cover still left over for that, and of course, billowing clouds out in the Gulf. Two areas are being watched by the Hurricane Center. This one, of course, closer to home, has about a 50% chance of developing over 5 days. And there are some indications that it may just meander out there for a while, perhaps strengthening as it does so. We'll keep a close eye on that one. Still, forecasts are for it to drift off to the north and to the east away from us. And Beryl, our first hurricane of the 2018 Atlantic hurricane season, forecast to move closer to the Antilles, Lesser Antilles, or the Leeward Islands, but so far having no impact on the state of Florida. We'll talk more about that coming up in just a few minutes. Back to you.
Thank you so much, John. Well, here is a live look at Moat Marine. And of course, this is where the Lionfish Derby is taking place today. It officially kicks off today and it runs throughout the weekend. The annual event challenges scuba divers to harvest the invasive species, and then top local chefs are going to be serving it up for the public. The Derby kicks off today and it runs throughout the weekend. And right now, let's check out your first alert traffic to see what's going on the roads this morning. So far in Manatee County, it's not too busy, just your usual delays if you're coming over the bridge into Bradenton, and also State Road 70 as well as 301. That interchange right there is already starting to see some slowdowns. If you're headed a little farther south into Sarasota, those roads aren't looking too bad just yet. We do have a couple delays right on the bay on 41, but other than that, that's pretty typical for around this time of the morning. And a little bit farther south in the area, we do have one accident to tell you about on 75. If we can pull that up real quick, there's an accident in the northbound lane of exit 182, which is Sumter Boulevard. Again, there's an accident in the northbound lane at 182, which is Sumter Boulevard. So keep your eye on that one. It is 6:02, and that is your first alert traffic. A Thai Navy SEAL diver has died trying to help those teens and their soccer coach trapped inside a cave for 13 days now. And the diver's death calls attention to just how dangerous this is and how much dangers the rescuers face there, trying to keep the boys and their coach alive and get them out. Now, that rescue diver was a former Navy SEAL. Ironically, he had just finished delivering oxygen tanks to the cavern on his way from the boys to an underground command center. Now, officials say the diver simply ran out of air while he was still underwater. And back here in Florida, the crackdown on opioid abuse is gaining momentum. A new state law now in effect will make it tougher for doctors to prescribe opioids for more than 3 days at a time. Now, right now, doctors can only prescribe Schedule II opioids like hydrocodone for 3 days at a time or 7 days in some special cases. Doctors will also have to check a state database of controlled substance history for every patient that they prescribe to. Now, this could mean initially that more doctors' visits and higher healthcare costs could be in store for patients.
At the beginning, there's no question there is going to be more work, but we have to do something anyway, and we are all in the middle of this situation, and a little bit of work is going to be okay.
Now, these prescription limits are only for treating acute pain caused by trauma, surgery, or illness. People with prescriptions for chronic pain issues won't be affected by the law. And the U.S. Postal Service has been slapped with a $3.5 million fine over an accident involving its Forever stamp. Get this, the stamp appeared to show the Statue of Liberty, but it's actually a smaller replica located in Las Vegas. Its sculptor has sued the post office for copyright infringement. A federal judge agreed and ordered the Postal Service to pay that fine. The service says it took the image from a licensed photograph and didn't realize that it wasn't the original statue in, New York. The stamp still racked up more than $2 billion in sales before it was retired back in 2014. Well, we are in the thick of summer, and you know what that means. It is hot outside, and it's even hotter inside your car, which is why you should not be leaving pets in your car while you run errands, even if it's just for a few minutes. ABC 7's Marla Spence joins us now live with what experts are saying can happen in just those few minutes that your pet is left alone. Marla?
Hey, Stephanie, that is right. Medical Association, hundreds of pets died from heat exhaustion because
Right. Well, we're having a little problem with Marla's mic, so we're going to get that fixed here. But we want to move ahead a little bit. Just days after a violent home invasion on Holmes Beach, police are starting a new voluntary home security program. They're asking homeowners who have surveillance cameras to join a database to help fight crime in that city. Now, police say officers won't be able to access the video unless given permission. Now, if you want to sign up, all you have to do is contact the Holmes Beach Police Department. Well, beaches in Sarasota County are a lot cleaner thanks to the hard work of dozens of volunteers who came out to help yesterday. More than 200 people woke up extra early for the 5th annual Liberty Litter Cleanup. The volunteers picked up more than 122 pounds of trash and recyclables from 9 area beaches. Well done. Well, for families with children with autism or other special needs, summer travel can be tough. In response, theme parks and resorts all across the country have been taking steps to make going on a family vacation a little easier for those with special needs. One park just outside Philadelphia is now the first in the country to be designated as a certified autism center. Sesame Place in Pennsylvania recognized the challenge that a lot of families face and decided to make their park friendly and accommodating to children with special needs. They train their team members how to respond and how to work with autistic children and make them feel welcome. They even have a pre-planning website so parents can show their kids exactly what to expect before they get to the park. Still to come, Mother Nature wasn't being too friendly to a newlywed couple. We're going to show you what the photographer caught on camera. When we come back, we're going to have that story. But first, let's head outside and take a look out there. Oh, we caught some more lightning right there in the background. We've gotten lucky a couple of days. Still some storms that are rolling around the area. Some lightning and thunder here. What's the rest of the day hold for us, John Scalzi?
Well, let's take a look, shall we? Well, we're going to look at a little bit of fire danger out there, but Charlotte County, the fire danger has decreased. It's now in the low category. It was in the moderate category yesterday, so some rainfall helped out there. Air quality is good. The ozone, the major contributor, it has risen a little bit, but it's still very safe for you. Headed to the beach today, should be nice. We'll go with about 89 degrees for a daytime high, and the UV index up a little bit to an 11. Complete forecast in a minute.
Selfless service is the principle that guides Army National Guard soldiers to be ready whenever disaster strikes. They have a stake in the well-being of the neighborhoods where they live and work. They train part-time to be ready to serve at all times. Selfless service. It's what inspires the men and women of the Army National Guard to be part of something greater than themselves. Visit NationalGuard.com to learn more.
At Tidewell Hospice, we know it's never too late to say thank you to our military veterans. The Tidewell Honors Veterans Program has provided care to more than 13,000 military families since 2008. Tidewell volunteers help honor veterans through special pinning ceremonies that demonstrate our appreciation for the freedom our veterans fought to defend. If you know a veteran who can benefit from end-of-life care, call or visit tidewell.org today. Tidewell Hospice. It's more than you think.
Today, everyone is looking for more fashionable choices in flooring than ever before. And G. Fried has responded with a huge selection of carpets, tile, wood, laminate, and vinyl. Installed by a highly skilled team, G-Freed has got everything you're looking for and more. The next time you think about quality flooring, think G-Freed Flooring America. G-Freed Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
Need more space in your place? The More Space Place can help with Murphy beds that disappear to reveal a home office, living room, or den. Custom closets with designated areas for your shoes, bags, wardrobe, and accessories. Custom-built entertainment centers, garage storage systems, and more. The More Space Place has 3 showrooms next to Sonny's on US 41 South in Sarasota, on Lakewood Ranch Boulevard just south of State Route 64 in Bradenton, and on Tamiami Trail next to Panera Bread in Port Charlotte. Put more space in your place at the More Space Place.
My California Closets experience has been wonderful. My mother's a huge inspiration. Before she passed away, she would say, you should do something special for yourself. First time I saw my closet, I immediately thought, this is the best thing I've ever done for myself. I call it my Tiffany style closet. I mean, I can shop in my own closet every day. I love that. My name is Cynthia, and this is my California Closets story.
When ABC7 declares a first alert weather day, it means we can expect major changes to weather conditions here along the Suncoast.
It means there could be severe, potentially dangerous weather ahead.
We tell you when a first alert weather day is coming because we want you to be prepared.
A first alert weather day is an advance warning. We'll let you know about any changes in the weather when the first signs appear.
ABC7 First Alert Weather. We're here for you.
Take a look at this. It's a tornado ripping through a wildfire near Weston Pass in Colorado. Those wildfires are still growing out west. But back here at home, John Scalzi has some rain in our future a little bit today, John Scalzi.
Indeed. We have right now, actually, out in Gulf waters, a lot of convection, a lot of thunderstorms, and some pretty heavy weather out there. That's not of importance to us on land, but it is important to mariners heading out, especially offshore. 74 degrees, the current air temperature. We have a dew point value coming in at 72, so it's kind of a sticky start to the day. We have a fair amount of clear skies that'll lead to a beautiful dawn, I think, here on the Suncoast. We'll have a mix of sun and clouds, we'll call it, as we head into the mid-morning. By about 7 o'clock this morning, in just a few minutes, we'll see a temperature of about 74 degrees, 88 degrees by 12 noon. With about a 10% chance of showers at that point, we'll start to see isolated showers popping up near the coastline, perhaps some outflow of the storms out in the Gulf, the beginnings of a westerly flow, sea breeze formation by 3 p.m., a 30% chance of rain. That will be occurring mostly in inland areas. And those showers that build in inland areas will tend to drift away from the coastline. As we develop this more westerly flow, what we saw yesterday was the showers and thunderstorms that built move all the way across the coastline and out into the Gulf. The little leftover boundaries creating the showers that we now see just off the Gulf Coast. Some of those, as I mentioned, producing frequent lightning pops, but those really are not going to affect us here on land all that much. The general drift of these storms is slowly to the north, and they tend to be fading out as they progress through the next couple of hours. However, we will see the beginnings of a westerly wind flow trigger off a shower or two along the coastline as we head into mid-morning, I think. Wouldn't be a bit surprised to see that. And then as we head into the afternoon, showers building in inland areas become more widespread. A couple of areas of concern, or at least that we are watching. One, closest to home, has about a 50% chance of developing over 5 days, if it lasts that long. Now, there is a frontal boundary that's sinking southward, could pick this system up and whisk it out into the open Atlantic. Or it could miss that system, in which case, if it did, it would meander out here in the near Atlantic waters for a period of time, perhaps strengthening. So there's still some question marks on what's going to happen with that one. At present, it's of no concern to us on the Suncoast in terms of our weather, and this one certainly is not at the present time. Hurricane Beryl, the first hurricane of the Atlantic season, has developed a very very, very tiny eye wall way out here in the Atlantic. Forecast to continue on a motion that will drift it closer and closer to the Lesser Antilles. It's moving west at about 14. And as it moves west, it'll probably gain in intensity somewhat before encountering winds that become hostile to hurricanes, and it starts to decrease to a tropical storm as it moves closer to the islands. It'll eventually just wash away most likely, but we will continue to watch it and keep you informed of its eventual motions. Any system south of the Leeward Islands moving into the Caribbean deserves watching. Southwest wind at 5 knots becomes more westerly this evening at about 5 knots, and the extended range forecast shows a daytime high of about 90 today and tomorrow. Now, by tomorrow, I think we'll establish this westerly wind more specifically, and that will help to bring a morning shower near the coast, followed by inland showers in the afternoon, leaving the coast quiet in the afternoon. I think that'll be true again on Sunday as well. Then as we head into next work week, I think we'll watch about a 30 to 40% chance of showers each day. Back to you.
All right, thanks so much, John. Let's check out your first alert traffic. We do have a couple accidents to tell you about. The first one is right there on I-75 northbound. There's an accident at exit 224, which is 301. Again, I-75 northbound, there's an accident at exit 224, which is 301 in Manatee County. Moving on to Sarasota, those are not looking too bad. The roads are not looking awful out there so far. Just a couple delays right there on Clark after you get off 75, but not too bad. And if you're heading a little bit farther south into the area, both 75 and 41 are running pretty smooth at this morning. We did have one accident on Sumter, but it is cleared up for right now. Well, we are in the thick of summer, and you know what that means. It is hot. It is too hot to leave your pets in the car, even if it's just for a minute or two. ABC 7's Marla Spence joins us now live with what can happen in just those few moments when you leave a pet alone in a hot car. Marla?
Hey Stephanie, good morning. That is right. It sounds like common sense, but believe it or not, many pet owners still do it. They still take their pets along for errands, knowing that they'll just leave their pets in their car. This morning, experts say people should consider the summer heat before thinking about tagging them along. According to the American Veterinary Medical Association, hundreds of pets die from heat exhaustion because they're left in parked cars even when the windows are cracked. According to the association, the temperature inside your car can rise almost 20 degrees above the temperature outside in just 10 minutes. So if your pet is left in your car for 10 minutes in 90-degree weather, the temperature inside your car can rise to 110 degrees whether the windows are cracked or not. By doing this, you can put your pet at risk for serious illness and death, even on a day that doesn't seem hot to you. We spoke to one animal expert here on the Suncoast, and we asked what's the maximum temperature a pet could stay in a parked car, and this is what he had to say.
Actually, the answer to that is never to leave your pet in the car at all. I think that it's just really important to leave your pet at home or find out some other alternative. It's never a good idea to leave a pet in a vehicle unattended.
And coming up at 6:30, we're telling you some of the signs and symptoms of heat exhaustion in a pet and what you can do if you see a pet left alone in a parked hot car. Stephanie?
All right, thank you so much, Marla. Well, here's a couple that won't forget their wedding day anytime soon. Newlyweds in Wisconsin barely dodged a falling tree limb shortly after they said their I do's. Cheyenne and Lucas were getting ready to be interviewed right there for their wedding video when that massive tree branch just came crashing down out of nowhere. Thankfully, though, as you saw, they jumped out of the way just in time. The newlyweds later finished up the interview at the same spot, including the tree, and went on with all of their wedding festivities.
We've never seen anything like this. I'm just happy they walked out. We had an amazing rest of the day. They didn't let this ruin their day.
And according to the photographer, the bride said, quote, "Our love is going to be stronger than that tree." I love that positive outlook. Well, a minor league baseball player made a stunning catch, but it actually had nothing to do with the game. Jesus Cruz snatched up a bird that flew at him during a game in Illinois this week. He then put the little guy on top of his head before the bird eventually flew away. Cruz, who is a prospect for the St. Louis Cardinals, might have some good karma coming his way right there. And a broken bone during summertime may not be as awful anymore thanks to some new technology. Reporter Brennan McDavid has all the details.
Starting summer with a break. literally.
I was roller skating and trying to do a trick I didn't even learn yet, kind of being a daredevil.
Instead of landing on her feet, 10-year-old Kylie Dugan landed on her left arm.
It felt like a million needles inside, like poking my muscle, and my bone just felt like out of place.
This isn't her first broken bone, but it is her first waterproof cast.
The technology has gotten significantly better. They're easier to dry, they're easier to put on.
Dr. Michael Beckish says he treats 50 to 100 fractures per week during the summer.
We spend a lot of time putting cast on, taking cast off.
20 years ago, you had to wrap it up in trash bags to keep it from getting wet.
It was a miserable experience. You had a plaster cast put on. It took 20 or 25 minutes to put it on. You had to wait for it to dry.
Now Beckish says the inside liner is water resistant, while the padding and cast itself are waterproof.
Just make sure they drain it, let the excess water out.
Add 16 color options, and wearing a cast just got a whole lot more fun.
That's all that's important to a kid is they can draw on it, they can get it wet.
Good job, bud. If you could just put me in the ocean, I would stay there.
All right, still to come on Good Morning Suncoast, a bizarre Hollywood kidnapping. It's like straight out of a movie. We're going to hear from one of the victims and find out what happened when we come back. But first, we're going to leave you with a little bit of what it looks like out there this morning. We were able to catch a couple lightning strikes earlier in this shot, but it doesn't look like there's too much going on there right now. John Scalzi is going to have a full weekend forecast and much more headed your way. You're watching Good Morning Suncoast right here on ABC 7.
Ready to open up new opportunities as an electrician? Don't do it yourself. Team up with Mr. Sparky instead. We're locally owned and looking for people like you. We offer our electricians great perks that you just won't get going it alone. And whether you're an apprentice, a master electrician, or somewhere in between, we have a spot for you.
Best decision I ever made.
Apply online or call today.
You don't have to put up with any malarkey. Call 888-8-SPARKY.
My California Closets experience has been wonderful. My mother's a huge inspiration. Before she passed away, she would say, you should do something special for yourself. First time I saw my closet, I immediately thought, this is the best thing I've ever done for myself. I call it my Tiffany style closet. I mean, I can shop in my own closet every day. I love that. My name is Cynthia, and this is my California Closets story.
Did you know that a dirty CPAP system can make you sick? If you knew what could be growing in your mask and hose, it would keep you up at night. Now SoClean.com has released the world's first and only automated hands-free CPAP cleaner and sanitizer. With its patented design, SoClean is fast, effective, and hands-free, killing 99.9% of all CPAP germs. Try SoClean now through this special TV offer free for 30 days. Just call 800-604-0398.
My health has improved. It's simple to use, and I'm not worried about infections.
SoClean works on all CPAP machines and popular masks, destroying CPAP bacteria, viruses, and germs without the daily hassle of washing your system by hand. Just place your mask in, close the lid, and in just minutes, voila! Sanitized and ready to use. Try SoClean risk-free for 30 days. This is a limited time offer. Call now, 800-604-0398, or visit SoClean.com today.
This is an important message for anyone with Medicare. You may be eligible for an all-in-one Medicare plan that combines hospital, medical, and prescription drug coverage together with extra benefits that may include dental, vision, hearing aids, and much more. Some of these plans have a $0 monthly premium regardless of your income. That's right. For one low plan premium, or in some cases a $0 premium, you may be able to get coverage for your hospital visits, doctor appointments, prescription drugs, routine dental care, eyeglasses and contact lenses, hearing aids, and possibly more. Today may be the first time you've heard about this type of Medicare plan. The advisors at the Medicare.com helpline are licensed insurance agents who will explain more when you call. Call now to see if you qualify. Call the number on your screen now. Call now to see if you qualify for these benefits. You worked hard for your Medicare. Now is the time for your Medicare to work hard for you. Not affiliated with or acting on behalf of any government agency or program.
Welcome back. It is 6:24. Huge crowds of Buddhist monks and thousands of followers of the Dalai Lama gathered to celebrate his 83rd birthday in India. The event was marked by cultural performances and a speech by the Dalai Lama himself. And MoviePass users, listen up. It might cost you a little more to see some of the big blockbuster movies during the peak times like nights and weekends. Now, for just $10 a month, MoviePass customers can see one movie per day, which is a pretty good deal. But that bargain price won't apply to all movies, titles, and times. It's surge pricing, so it might cost you a few extra dollars to see the most popular movie or ones at a peak time like a Friday or a Saturday night. The good news, though, is MoviePass will now tip customers off to when surge pricing will be added for a particular movie. And it turns out that gender wage gaps actually start earlier than you might think. Now, in the workplace, the average woman earns about 80 cents for every dollar a man makes, with women of color making even less. But that gap could start as early as grade school. A new study finds that the average boy earned about $13.80 as a weekly allowance. But girls earned less than half of what parents gave boys. Now, that gap may be explained away because parents are giving boys physically harder jobs that take a little bit longer, like mowing a lawn or washing the car. Meanwhile, girls are getting chores like cleaning or babysitting. Well, in Hollywood, actress Daisy McCracken is offering a personal update following her bizarre kidnapping. ABC's Kendis Gibson has all the details in today's GMA First Look.
In this morning's GMA First Look, actress Daisy McCracken taking to Facebook after police say she was violently kidnapped in an elaborate ransom plot. Thanking the LAPD in one post, also writing, "I am fine, I promise." And now her half-brother also speaking out about her ordeal.
She got put in the face of her own mortality.
In a newly unsealed grand jury indictment, the Los Angeles County District Attorney alleges the woman in this viral arrest video, Amber Neal, along with Keith Stewart and Jonte Jones, perpetrated the kidnapping for ransom plot last year. Their alleged victim, McCracken, has starred in Hollywood films like 3,000 Miles to Graceland.
I could call the cops, you know.
And coming up at 7 a.m., we'll have more from Daisy McCracken's brother on her escape from the kidnappers. With your GMA First Look, I'm Kendis Gibson, ABC News, New York.
How do you like your coffee?
I'm a man of refined taste, and I prefer my creamer non-GMO Project Verified. Caramel Machimatoto. I like it international, and I expect to be delighted.
Spruce up your home during the Dress Your Nest sale. Ask Sherwin-Williams June 22nd through July 9th and get 30% off paints and stains. Visit your neighborhood Sherwin-Williams store today.
Salads should look like this. Crisp leaves of lettuce, freshly made dressing. Clean food that looks this good. Delivered to your desk. Now delivering to home or office. Panera, food as it should be.
How did we test our Dixie Ultra plates? With 2 pounds of steak in each hand. Dixie Ultra. Stress tested so you can stress less at dinner.
Outdoor living is one of the greatest perks about living in Florida. So whether this is your style, or this, or maybe this, contact Superior Pools. They've been building pools from Sarasota to Naples since 2001, and they would love to build yours.
Soldiers in the Army National Guard serve to give back to their country and communities. Their part-time commitment qualifies them for an array of benefits, such as affordable health and life insurance benefits, education benefits, including tuition assistance, student loan repayment and GI Bill programs, a retirement plan based on part-time service, and VA home mortgages. Visit NationalGuard.com to learn more about all the benefits available in the Army National Guard.
I heard about the Dotoli Cancer Center through friends of mine who had been treated here and were very pleased with the treatment.
If there is prostate cancer, we at the Dotoli Cancer Center will find it using 3D color flow Doppler ultrasound.
And that helped precisely identify where my cancer was. I can tell you that you will not find a finer, more professional team of clinicians anywhere in the world.
My California closets experience has been wonderful. My mother's a huge inspiration. Before she passed away, she would say, you should do something special for yourself. First time I saw my closet, I immediately thought, this is the best thing I've ever done for myself. I call it my Tiffany style closet. I mean, I can shop in my own closet every day. I love that. My name is Cynthia, and this is my California Closets story.
Thanks to the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society, what was once impossible is happening today for thousands of patients with blood cancer.
I live.
I live. I live. I live.
I live.
She lives.
Because of the research done by the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society in the battle against blood cancer.
If you had a chance to support the research that is saving lives, what would you do?
My life motto is keep moving. And as hard as it was when my husband passed away, I knew I had to keep doing what I love. Oops, coming. But I needed help with my insurance, and that's what the NAIC provides. They have resources to help you and your family make the best decision, and they'll help you to keep moving forward, just like me.
Outdoor living is one of the greatest perks about living in Florida. So whether this is your style, or this, or maybe this, contact Superior Pools. They've been building pools from Sarasota to Naples since 2001, and they would love to build yours.
You're watching Good Morning Suncoast at 6:30.
A former Thai Navy SEAL has died inside the cave where 12 boys and their soccer coach are still trapped. We're going to have the latest details on what exactly went wrong. And this weekend, it is the 5th annual Lionfish Derby. It's a beautiful fish. You can not only learn about the invasive species, but you can taste it too. And Secretary of State Mike Pompeo has arrived in North Korea this morning. We're going to tell you just why he made the surprise trip there. We have those stories and your weekend forecast. Good Morning Suncoast starts right now. And good morning to you. It is 6:30 on this Friday morning. I'm Stephanie Webb, TGIF. Ray Collins is on vacation this week. He'll be back on Monday. But right now, John Scalzi, whole lot of things I know you've got your eye on over there in the Weather Center.
Yeah, a couple of things going on nearby, actually, that bear watching. One, for boaters, there's a cluster of showers just off the coastline that are producing numerous thunderstorms and some pretty high seas in and around the area of those thunderstorms. You know how that works, boaters. So you might want to maybe stay close to shore or maybe not even leave port for another couple of hours until this system diminishes in intensity, particularly if you're planning an offshore trip. So these showers have a gradual drift off to the north and to the east as they begin to dissipate. Not out of the question that areas around Anna Maria or Holmes Beach or Longboat Key could get clipped with a brief shower later this morning. But it's really more likely by around 10, 11, 12 o'clock we start to see numerous showers perhaps develop closer to the coastline and then move into inland areas. Satellite view shows we have a fair amount of breaks in the clouds over land. Of course, this cluster of clouds out in the Gulf waters is very pronounced. But over land, a little bit of daytime heating should help boost our temperatures up pretty quickly and get these showers starting to build. By this afternoon, 3 p.m., we'll have about a 30% chance of showers in inland areas while the coast clears out. Complete details for the weekend coming up in a few.
All right, thanks so much, John. Let's take a live look out right there this morning. You're looking live at Moat Marine, where they're going to be hosting the 5th annual Sarasota Lionfish Derby throughout the weekend. We're going to have some details. That is just minutes away of everything that you can expect at the Derby this weekend. Right now, though, let's check out your first alert traffic. Roads are not doing too bad. We do have some of the typical slowdowns that you normally see and an accident in Manatee County to tell you about. I-75 in the northbound lane, there's an accident at 224, which is the exit for US 301. Again, I-75 northbound lane, there's an accident at exit 224 in Manatee County. Heading into Sarasota County, those roads aren't looking too bad out there. Not so bad so far. There were a couple slowdowns as you came across the bay, but actually most of those have cleared up by now. And if you're heading a little bit farther south into the area, 75 and 41 are running pretty smooth at this hour. It is 6:33, and that is your first alert traffic. A Thai Navy SEAL diver has died trying to help those 13 people trapped inside a cave in northern Thailand. The 12 boys and their soccer coach have been trapped now for almost 2 weeks. Reporter Andrew Spencer explains exactly what went wrong.
Officials in northern Thailand say the rescue diver was a former Thai Navy SEAL. He had just finished delivering oxygen tanks to the cavern where 12 boys and their soccer coach have been trapped since June 23rd. On his way back from the boys to an underground command center, officials say the diver ran out of air while underwater. After his death, other rescue divers are trying to stay focused on the task at hand, keeping the boys alive.
definitely you can feel it, that it has an effect, but we're moving on. Everybody's a professional, so we're trying to put it away and avoid it never happen again.
For days, experts have emphasized the dangers of cave diving, even for experienced divers, traveling for hours in the darkness, often with or against the flow of water, through some very narrow passages.
It's hard work. It's a scary sensation if you're not used to it. And even when you are used to it, it can be very scary.
Crews are still pumping as much water out of the cave as they can, especially with heavy rain in the forecast. Divers have been teaching the boys how to use oxygen masks, but the death of an experienced diver in those tunnels punctuates the dangers of trying to bring the boys out that way.
The fear that someone will panic is absolutely legitimate. And then, of course, that brings not only a hazard to the child, but also to the expert diver.
I'm Andrew Spencer reporting.
Happening right now, Secretary of State Mike Pompeo has arrived in North Korea early this morning. Now, he has a task of trying to figure out just how serious North Korean dictator Kim Jong-un is about giving up his nuclear arsenal. His goal is to keep everything on track going back to that June summit between Jong and President Trump. And an internal investigation by the Florida Highway Patrol has resulted in the suspension of one of its troopers. Joshua Flo was issued a 24-hour suspension after the agency figured out that he did not follow proper investigative procedures during a hit-and-run traffic incident. Now, that situation involved a Sarasota County Assistant State Attorney, Jesse Weissman. Now, back in 2016, she had been out with friends and reportedly got into 2 traffic crashes just while driving home. Now, Trooper Flo arrived on the scene, and instead of taking pictures and investigating claims of a DUI, he drove her home instead. A week later, Weissman was fired from her job. And happening today, you can join the Mote Marine Lab for the 5th annual Sarasota Lionfish Derby. Now, the Derby invites scuba divers to harvest this invasive species. The public is also welcome to come out and taste the delicious invasive species prepared by the top local chefs. That Derby is going to kick off today and is going to run through Sunday at Mote Marine in Sarasota. Well, we are in the thick of summer, and you know what that means. It is hot. It is way too hot for you to leave your pets in the car while you run your errands, even if it's just for a few minutes. ABC 7's Marla Spence joins us now live with what experts say can happen in those few minutes. Marla?
Hey, Stephanie, that is right. Animal experts say this summer, leave your pets at home instead of taking them along with you while you run errands to places like a grocery store or even a post office. Those experts say most times people just end up leaving their pets inside their parked cars with the windows cracked, but that's not enough. Temperatures can still rise and cause serious injuries and illness and even death. It sounds like common sense, but believe it or not, many pet owners still leave their pets in their parked hot cars. According to the American Veterinary Medical Association, the temperature inside your car can rise almost 20 degrees above the temperature that's outside in just 10 minutes. So if you left your pet in your car for 10 minutes in 90-degree weather, the temperature inside your car can rise to 110 degrees, whether the windows are cracked or not. According to the association, hundreds of pets die every year from heat exhaustion, and one animal expert has signs and symptoms of heat exhaustion and what you can do if you witness a dog in an unattended car.
Their gums will become pale, they're going to act really lethargic. You need to seek medical attention right away, get them to a vet immediately. It's very, very serious. And as for pets that are left in unattended vehicles, we recommend that people contact law enforcement immediately, to call them on your cell phones and get someone to that vehicle right away, because it really only takes minutes for an animal to die in a hot car.
And remember, Florida law makes it legal to break into a hot car to save a pet. Stephanie, I've actually witnessed this firsthand at the Manatee County Sheriff's Office, where someone left their dog in a hot parked car with all the windows up. And needless to say, out of all the places, that wasn't a smart idea for that pet owner.
Wow. All right. Thank you for the good tips out there, Marla. All right, this next story makes me really, really wish that Ray Collins wasn't on vacation right now so he could read this next story. Whoa. A Tennessee woman is recovering this morning after being bitten multiple times by dozens of brown recluse spiders that have invaded her apartment. Whoa. Reporter Kim St. Young has this creepy story.
We were finding brown recluses left and right in our bed, on the ceiling, in my iron, in her shoe.
It's hard to miss the spider traps in every corner of Angela Wright's apartment. She put them there after finding nearly 50 brown recluse spiders in her bedroom.
I noticed that my left arm was hurting, and then I just casually dismissed it.
Doctors confirm she was bitten at least 3 times.
I couldn't walk, I couldn't move, and I barely could swallow. I was starting to hallucinate.
Her complex sprayed, but the spiders came back. We found this one hiding in a light. Wright asked the landlord at her Views of Brentwood apartment complex to break her lease. She recorded her landlord's answer on her cell phone.
We're never going to get rid of them. It's just part of Nashville and the South in general.
They said that, the only thing that they can do is give me a 60-day notice, and I will have to fulfill that.
Totaling $2,200. We went looking for answers. What are your rights as a renter?
People always believe and think, landlord's not fixing the plumbing, I can stop paying my rent. Landlord's not fixing the air, I can stop paying my rent.
John Augusta with Eastside Legal says the biggest mistake people make is refusing to pay rent. Pay it while you figure out your next move. Wright already packed her apartment and hopes to be out as soon as possible.
This isn't my problem. I came here thinking that this was a nice place to live at.
Oh, the brown recluse is one of the most venomous spiders. It usually is between the size of a quarter and about $0.50. Now, if you're worried about whether or not you have one, they're pretty identifiable. The main feature that distinguishes the recluse from other spiders, they have a violin-shaped marking right on the top of their body. Ugh. All right, moving on. Rainy conditions this week is causing some chaos for drivers trying to navigate flooded streets in the area. FDOT says they are working on a solution. Now, the flooding is not exactly uncommon on 41 and 10th Street in Sarasota, but FDOT says the issue earlier this week was made worse by debris that was clogging the drainage system.
Anything floatable or plastic or trash is just picked up instead of washed away with the rain.
Now, FDOT says they are working on cleaning out all the debris in the drainage system and checking pumps to make sure that nothing was damaged. Pollution may be to blame for the murky waters in a lake on Holmes Beach. People who live there are disgusted with what has happened to Spring Lake, which is between 68th Street and 70th Street near Palm Avenue. Now, the lake's few acres has a muddy feel to it a bit. Residents say back in 2015, 22,000 gallons of sewage from a pipe that Manatee County owns spilled into that lake, killing hundreds of fish.
This used to be a beautiful area, and the fish and the birds and everything were just good to look at. Now we don't even look out our backyard because it butts our property. It's right there, and there's 20 or so houses that have to deal with the same issue.
Now, residents there want to get environmental experts involved to take a look at the lake and help figure out a solution to the problem. No one from the city of Holmes Beach or Manatee County could be reached for a comment. And if you're looking to make plans to hit the Venice Farmers Market this weekend, here's a heads up for you. It won't be in its usual spot. Due to a major construction project in downtown Venice, this Saturday, the Venice Farmers Market is going to open at its usual time, but it's going to be at De Park, west of City Hall. It's going to run from 8 o'clock in the morning until noon. Still to come on Good Morning Suncoast, a Tampa teen is dead after a round of fireworks exploded in his hands. We're going to have the details of that tragic accident when we come back. But first, we're going to head over and check out John Scalzi and what you are working on in the Weather Center today.
A lot of people are going to be at the beach this weekend, no doubt about it. I highly advise that you get the latest updates on the location of red tide reports on our website, mysuncoast.com. We have a couple of places that have indicated kind of a little bit of a reduction over the last 24 hours in the amount of red tide irritants in the air from the algae bloom. That is Nokomis and Minnesota. So good news there. The winds will continue to be out of the west throughout the day today, and beaches from Siesta Key northward have not reported any kind of red tide toxin in the air. So if you're taking a beach walk for the beach walk this evening, the forecast calls for clear and sunny skies, as we'll have mostly morning showers near the coast, then inland showers later in the day. We'll have the weekend forecast for you in a sec.
Picking out a new ceiling fan? That's a do-it-yourself. Installing your new ceiling fan?
No.
That's a don't do-it-yourself. For ceiling fans, rewires, or anything electrical, play it safe. And call on the trained electricians from your locally owned Mr. Sparky. It's no accident that so many of our customers are repeat customers. Trust Mr. Sparky for all your electrical repairs.
Call 888-8-SPARKY.
Did you know you could get life insurance for less than 32 cents a day? With guaranteed acceptance whole life insurance through TruStage, you can get up to $25,000 in protection with a single phone call, and you cannot be turned down for any reason. Even if you have health problems or are living on a fixed income, guaranteed acceptance whole life insurance policies could work for you with prices starting at less than 32 cents a day. That's as low as $9.40 a month. TruStage can help free your family from immediate financial stress when you're gone.
Utility bills, mortgages, car payments, those are a lot of things that can add up pretty fast.
My mom didn't have life insurance and the cost all fell on me. And that's expensive. We're still paying for that.
Yeah, we're still paying for that.
Call 1-800-218-4991 now. In one phone call, you can help prepare your family with protection amounts up to $25,000. There are no medical tests or health questions. And remember, you cannot be turned down for any reason. In fact, TruStage policies are already protecting over 18 million Americans. And rates are designed to be affordable, starting at less than 32 cents a day. That's as low as $9.40 a month. Plus, your price will never increase and your benefit will never decrease.
When I leave, everything will be taken care of for them.
Call 1-800-218-4991 now for a free, no-obligation quote. TruStage offers plans to fit your budget with prices starting at less than 32 cents a day. Help protect your family from immediate financial burdens after you're gone with guaranteed acceptance whole life insurance through TruStage. Call 1-800-218-4991 now.
My California Closets experience has been wonderful. My mother's a huge inspiration. Before she passed away, she would say, you should do something special for yourself. First time I saw my closet, I immediately thought, this is the best thing I've ever done for myself. I call it my Tiffany style closet. I mean, I can shop in my own closet every day. I love that. My name is Cynthia, and this is my California Closets story.
Now your ABC 7 First Alert weather forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
Current temperature 74 degrees. Nailed it. Dew point coming in at 72. A lot of sunshine out there mixed with a little bit of cloudiness as well. Heat index exactly the same as the air temperature, 74. As we head into the afternoon, we'll watch that heat index climb up to around near 100 degrees, I think, today, 95 to 100. 7 a.m. temperature, as we just mentioned, 74 degrees, a mix of sun and fair weather clouds. As we head into the afternoon, we'll look at a few more clouds building and about a 10% chance that we could get some coastal showers. Then as we head into the 3 p.m. time period, 90 degrees with a feels like temperature probably around close to 100. And we'll have that 30% of showers being mostly in inland areas, as those coastal showers drive inland, riding on the sea breeze front, which should move a pretty good distance today. Encouraged by a general westerly wind flow that's developing, that'll be the case right straight through the weekend. The evening looks like it'll be pretty quiet near the coast, but we'll have more showers inland. Yesterday we had showers that generally didn't move a whole lot once they got to our coastline. I mean, they came in from the other coast and then kind of blew up on our coast and didn't move a whole lot, except for a few, like one near Venice. The outflow boundary produced showers that are really now beginning to blossom out here in Gulf waters. They were stronger a little bit earlier on and are kind of in the process of falling apart, but they're still producing a pop or two of lightning as they drift off to the north and to the east. It's not impossible that the outer edge of these decaying storms may bring a brief bit of sprinkles or light rain to areas of Longboat Key, Holmes Beach, or Anna Maria, possibly. But it's really by later on in the morning and into the early afternoon when we have a chance of seeing some showers build along our coastline. At that point, we'll have about a 10 to 20% chance of seeing those showers build. That will be in response to daytime heating. It'll be in response to the moisture that we have, as well as a sea breeze beginning to form. As that sea breeze forms, the better chance of rain will be inland. A couple of places that we'll be monitoring over the weekend, and you'll need to keep an eye on. This area of disturbed weather just off the Atlantic coast has a 50% chance of developing and could just meander out here for a while. Forecast takes it out into the open waters of the Atlantic presently, but there's uncertainty there. And then Hurricane Beryl, the first hurricane of the Atlantic season, traveling on a track that takes it toward the Lesser Antilles as it decays away eventually. But again, there's a lot of uncertainty as to the intensity of that storm as it moves westward, so we'll be keeping an eye on it as well. Southwest wind turns west at about 5 knots, light chop 2-foot seas on bay and inland waters, and the forecast calls for today about a daytime high of 90 with a 30% chance of rain first near the coast, then moving inland, particularly later in the afternoon. And then that same pattern both on Saturday and Sunday with that westerly wind flow. No tropical influence on our weather right straight through the weekend. As we head into next week, we'll keep that 30 to 40% chance of rain in the forecast. Back to you.
All right, thanks, John. Let's take a look at your first alert traffic out there. Not too much going on right now. We still have that accident that's in the cleanup stages on I-75 northbound in Manatee County. It's at exit 224, which is the 301 exit. Heading into Sarasota County, those roads aren't running too bad. There were some slowdowns around the bay, but most of those have actually cleaned up by now. And then if you're heading a little bit farther south in the area, 75 and 41 are both running pretty smooth at this hour. 6:50, that is your first alert traffic. Well, this morning we are learning more about the death of a 16-year-old boy in Tampa. He died at Tampa General Hospital early this morning. Police say a fireworks mortar round exploded in his hands. The victim's name has not yet been released, and it is being called an accident right now. The teen sustained injuries to both his left hand and his chest cavity. All right, still ahead, we're going to update your top headlines in your top 7 before 7. That, of course, includes a look at your first alert weather, one final look at traffic, and a roundup of all the stories that we've been following for you today on Good Morning Suncoast. You're watching ABC 7.
Did you know that a dirty CPAP system can make you sick? If you knew what could be growing in your mask and hose, it would keep you up at night. Now SoClean.com has released the world's first and only automated hands-free CPAP cleaner and sanitizer. With its patented design, SoClean is fast, effective, and hands-free, killing 99.9% of all CPAP germs. Try SoClean now through this special TV offer free for 30 days. Just call 800-604-0398.
My health has improved. It's simple to use, and I'm not worried about infections.
SoClean works on all CPAP machines and popular masks, destroying CPAP bacteria, viruses, and germs without the daily hassle of washing your system by hand. Just place your mask in, close the lid, and in just minutes, voila! Sanitized and ready to use. Try SoClean risk-free for 30 days. This is a limited time offer. Call now, 800-604-0398. Or visit SoClean.com today.
The following message is brought to you by Mesobook.com.
People who have been diagnosed with mesothelioma have many questions. How did I get this disease? What are my treatment options? How will this affect my loved ones? You need answers, which is why we offer a free book written by medical professionals who have treated mesothelioma.
Call toll-free at 1-800-777-1366 or go to mesobook.com.
Hello, I'm John Merce. Rugs As Art is celebrating yet another anniversary, and I would personally like to thank each and every one of you for the many years of continuous support. All during the month of July, we're having a grand celebration. We have flooded our showroom with yellow tag specials, meaning more discounts and more savings than ever before, plus free padding. So don't miss this anniversary celebration at Rugs As Art, Sarasota's bigger and better area rug superstore.
My California closets experience has been wonderful. My mother's a huge inspiration. Before she passed away, she would say, you should do something special for yourself. First time I saw my closet, I immediately thought, this is the best thing I've ever done for myself. I call it my Tiffany style closet. I mean, I can shop in my own closet every day. I love that. My name is Cynthia, and this is my California closet's story.
I took my first handful of pills, and that's when all my priorities seemed to change.
He would ask to use the bathroom in other people's homes.
He just assumed that they would have medication.
He'd go in their medicine cabinets and steal prescription drugs.
I wish I knew really what these prescription pills were.
We were so naive about the whole drug thing.
These are all synthetic forms of heroin.
Keep your medication locked up because you'll never notice that a pill is gone.
Mind your meds. Learn more from the partnership
for drug-free kids.
Welcome back. It is 6:54, and here are the top 7 things you need to know before 7. First, John with your first alert forecast.
Well, you'll want to take your sunglasses and your First Alert weather app along with you. You'll need them both. We'll see some showers around near the coast this morning, but by afternoon, the showers will be inland, keeping the coastline a bit cooler. It's currently 74 degrees. Back to you.
All right, thanks so much, John. Let's take a look at your traffic. One quick traffic note to tell you about. It's just the big one right here in Manatee County, I-75. There's an accident in the northbound lane at exit 224, which is for 301. And number 3, a reminder not to leave your pet in your car while you run errands this summer. Hundreds of pets die every year from heat exhaustion when left in parked cars, even with the windows open. And number 4, Secretary of State Mike Pompeo has arrived in North Korea this morning. He's got the task of trying to figure out just how serious Kim Jong-un is about giving up his nuclear arsenal. And number 5, a Thai Navy SEAL has died trying to help 13 people trapped inside that cave in northern Thailand. The diver's death calls attention to some of those dangers that the rescuers face while trying to get them out and keep the team alive. Number 6, you can join Moat Marine for the annual Sarasota Lionfish Derby. It kicks off today and it runs through Sunday. And number 7, what's trending? Well, one of the most anticipated Marvel spin-offs hits theaters today, Ant-Man and the Wasp. John Scalzi stars Paul Rudd, Evangeline Lilly. Some good buzz so far from critics, so kind of liking it, but not too bad. You gonna see this one? Do you like Marvel stuff?
Oh, probably will.
Okay.
Yeah, probably.
This is a good one. I like it, and I like Paul Rudd as Ant-Man. He's super sarcastic. I tend to respect that about people. I like you, John.
Like the most enjoyable thing going, I think.
I know.
Movies and live theater, to me, that's the stuff.
That's why we're friends, John Scalzi. All right, stick around. Thank you so much for watching all this week. Ray Collins back on Monday. Good Morning America is up next right here on ABC 7.